Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to another video. We're in a little bit of a different perspective today because I'm just sitting on my couch in my living room. I just wanted to do a very chill video with you today just to give an update. I know I've been a little infrequent with some videos and there's reasons for that. One of the reasons was my mic had some issues, so that delayed me for like a week. It turned out to be a cord I needed, so that's figured out. I actually did revive an old mic of mine for this video, which still works, thankfully. So you're getting this mic today. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, and I would say the bigger reason why I've been infrequent is because, and I've mentioned it in a few videos ago, but I've been dealing with some depression, mental health, I don't know what to call it, mental health issues sounds really weird, but mental health issues. My mental health has not been great in the last, I want to say since last November, but it really started to take a toll in, I would say, April, May. And yeah, there was just an episode that happened a few weeks ago that really just has made me off with my schedule. I have thankfully since been able to go to therapy, so that's been great. And a lot of it has to do with sort of just some general stuff that is kind of outside of my control, with like job security stuff. I still have my job, but there's just been a lot of reasons why the career path I'm on in my day-to-day, you know, it's struggling economically, and I think a lot of things are. So it's just been sort of stressful with that. I work for a company, so it's not like my own business or anything, but it still feels a little unbalanced and makes me have to reevaluate a lot. But for now, I'm grateful I even have a job, so we'll see. It's also daytime right now, so there's some dogs barking. I'm going to try to pull through as quickly as I can. But also on top of career stuff that I've been dealing with is some PTSD from a few years ago. Back in 2022, my husband was in a car accident. He was not driving, he was actually in an Uber. And the way I found out about the accident was pretty traumatizing because he was in an Uber on his way home in the evening, and I had fallen asleep and I woke up the next day and he wasn't home. And he was hanging out with my sister's partner, so it wasn't like he was off like at a party or anything. He was just going out to dinner, and he knew he would have a few drinks, so he wanted to take an Uber, and he was on his way home and fell asleep in the Uber and woke up in the hospital himself. So anyways, the traumatic part is waking up and he is missing, essentially. I'm sorry I'm giving you this tragic story, but he's fine now. But he was in the hospital for a week, and it was very hard for him, obviously, but also for me to just kind of be there in the hospital for like 7 days and try to be there for him, but also figure out how I'm feeling. And ever since then, things obviously have gotten better and so forth, but I would say that the PTSD still lingers around certain things, and it's flared up over the last few months, and that is a big reason why I've gone back to therapy to sort of figure that out. So that's really all I want to like divulge about, because it's so nuanced, and I don't necessarily want to, you know, trauma dump on anyone. This is supposed to be a relaxing video, but I am trying to be honest about, you know, what I'm going through. I'm not necessarily ashamed. I think I do feel embarrassed that this has some kind of control over me, and I know that that's not, I don't need to be feeling that way. I just happen to feel that way. And I'm sure other people can relate to that feeling of, you know, why does this have such a hold on me? Why can't I just release it? But it's, you know, so much more of a physical embodiment of that I liken it to how your body, you know, when you're driving and you have a lot of thoughts, or you're thinking about something and suddenly your mind is on autopilot and you're just driving, like you don't even remember where you're going or the lights you pass, or it's almost like you're not really paying attention on the road, but your brain is so used to driving that it knows how to keep you on the road. Now, obviously, you should pay attention while driving, but I liken it to how your brain will make your body go on autopilot if it knows that your mind is elsewhere. Like if it's trying to protect you, there's a part of you where your body is just trying to protect you, and it's going to do things that you don't quite understand. And that's kind of how I've been experiencing the PTSD, is like it's going to make me react in a way that is just trying to protect me at the end of the day. So, all this to say, I wanted to share some of the positive things about how I've been healing from this depression. It's not easy, and I don't think I'm like out of the woods by any means. I did recently just get back from a wellness retreat trip. It wasn't a retreat, it's more like a wellness resort, and you can go and like partake in as much as you want. It's not like a typical retreat. But me and my husband went to this wellness resort a few days ago, at the Two Bunch Palms Resort in Palm Spring. I do think I might want to film a separate video about my experience and the review of that place, but I will say now it was really great, very relaxing. I have had some travel anxiety the last few years, and this really helped a lot, and I had fun. I enjoyed myself, and I do feel more relaxed. So I'm trying to ride that wave now that I'm back home, but that really helped for sure. And obviously that's an expensive option, but I do think some time to just be in quiet and relaxation in nature, doing healing activities for like the body and the mind really helped me, and is exactly like what I needed. So that is definitely another reason why I'm a little late with videos. We had our trip, and I've also just been, you know, dealing with depression in that it's really hard for me to do the things I once did very easily. So making videos is something I really enjoy and don't want to stop doing, but the energy that I can show up to do it has really declined, and it's declined in a variety of areas. Pretty much all the hobbies I've enjoyed have been suffering, and that's kind of the way I can describe depression, at least for me, is everything I once enjoyed is no longer as enjoyable, and it's really weird to like objectively know these things are enjoyable, and I know what the feeling is like to enjoy them, but it's so hard to concentrate on reading a book right now. It's really hard to get back into writing, which is something my kind of hobby I like. And a lot of it is, the stories my brain is telling me about, like what's the point, or, what's my purpose, or, a lot of the narratives about me and my self-worth and my future all kind of gray out. A lot of these things I used to enjoy because it's questioning things more. But yeah, I'm in therapy, so I do want to preface everything I share today is from my own personal experience, and if you're dealing with any mental health issues and dark or negative thoughts at all, please reach out to a medical professional. It's really hard. It's really tough to pick up the phone and call someone, but when I tell you I have been in a dark, dark space, and the professionals I spoke to for my medical health insurance access were really accommodating, really helpful. It is annoying sometimes to navigate systems, and that's a barrier that I don't think we talk about a lot, but getting mental health, it's not as easy as walking into any hospital and being like, I need to talk to someone, because it's not always like that. And I understand even more marginalized communities, people who aren't white or gay, trans, like all these communities that even have more barriers to entry some of the time. Low income families, like I'm able to go to therapy because I have health insurance, and not everyone has that privilege. So if there are any resources I can find that are available for a low cost or free, I will try to link them if I can. I'm not going to take up too much time to research because I do want to just get this up, but feel free to share any resources you may know of, or like free therapy or free mental health resources for people who may have just more barrier to entry for those things. So yeah, again, please reach out to someone who is a professional and not me if you're dealing with something. But also, sharing with your loved ones is also a great step. I have loved ones in my life that I can go to, and that's again another privilege, and one that I don't take for granted, and know that I can reach out to people when I need help. And that is just as important as talking to a therapist is your own family or friends who care about you. And I'm here to let you know you're not alone if you're going through stress, anxiety, depression of all varieties. We all experience it differently. I would describe mine as high functioning depression, but yeah, it's still debilitating, and I have had a lot of crying, a lot of nights crying, almost every weekend for a while there, and still it's just kind of feeling like a newborn baby, and you're trying to like navigate the world again, but you just feel like you're not figuring it out. Yeah. So I've been blabbering so much, and I just kind of want to jump into the things that have brought back a little bit more joy in my life and give me hope. So that's what I wanted to share. But also I hope you understand, I'm not going anywhere. I really want to keep making ASMR, and it's been a little wonky with schedule, but other than the audio issue I had that was outside of my control, I want to continue posting weekly, but if I need a break, I'll have a break. And I may not always communicate that break, but just know that like I'm not officially leaving, and I definitely want to continue to be consistent, whatever that looks like moving forward. But yeah, so with that, I'll share some things that have been really great for me. The first thing is yoga. I got ClassPass a few months, like back in February, and I wanted to just start taking some nearby yoga classes, Pilates, kind of workout classes that I am into right now. And I found a yoga studio near me that it's just been so wonderful to just really connect with my body and have an hour of practice that really feels grounding and allows my mind to relax and focus on one thing. I'm a big multitasker. I tend to have a lot of thoughts at all times. So calm and like focused activities have been really helpful for me, and yoga, moving my body, and also a little bit of the spiritual side has been really nice. Meditation, that kind of thing. So yoga has been really helpful. Getting out and walking in nature, I can't tell you how many walks I try to get out in the day. Even when I'm working, I just want to get sunshine. I want to be around the trees and hear the birds sing. And so when it's a nice day, I try to get out and be in nature. I'm not even really like a huge like camping hiker person. I like just general walking around my neighborhood or going to a local park and having a picnic. It just, being in nature is really healing. It's one of the things I loved about the wellness resort we went to in Palm Springs, or Desert Hot Springs area. Just being in like an oasis environment, and it's just very cleansing to the soul. So getting out in nature has been really healing for me as well. I did go on a picnic date with my husband a few weeks ago now, probably like a month ago, and I got my travel watercoloring set and I did a little painting. Let's share. This is no Monet, okay, but I love it for me, and I just basically painted what I saw with a little bit of creative improv. Like this tree, I made a weeping willow tree instead of like a tree that was there. I know it looks like a 10-year-old did this, okay, and 10-year-old probably even better could do this, but just like a painting. And this is supposed to be like a shadow of another tree, but it kind of just looks like darker grass. So I could use some work on my artistic skills here, but this really embodies sort of the things I get drawn to when I'm feeling really low, is just focused, creative, and it's not really focused on a result that impacts other people. It's really just for me and my personal expression and enjoyment. So this is a very vulnerable painting to share with you. Yeah, don't put that in a museum. I've also gotten back into writing, and I used to always write in spiral bound notebooks when I was younger, handwritten, like we're talking handwritten. And yeah, I have recently just felt like screen time and being in front of a computer has been very draining for me. So I went back to like trying out writing in a notebook, and it was honestly super nice. I got to like take this notebook by the pool, our neighborhood pool. I can lay out and write. I can go outside with it, and it's just a nice grounding practice to write a story on paper, and just reminded me of like my roots, my childhood, where all I wrote was in notebooks before computers became more predominant, more accessible, I would say. And yeah, I've just really enjoyed writing. I even wrote like a short story, which I've never done before, but but I had this idea for a short story and I really wanted to write it. And I found this short story competition. Like, you can submit stories to certain websites or magazines and they'll publish winners. And I found one that technically it's due in a few days, but I reread the story I wrote and I don't know that it's ready. But yeah, so I don't know if I'll submit it. I kind of wanted to, just to say that I could, but I don't know if I want to. And you have to pay a small fee to submit it, and I'm like, is it worth submitting knowing I probably won't get it? I'll just be out a few bucks, you know, like, I don't know if I want to do that, but I don't think I'll publish it online myself, because maybe I will rework it and submit it to another competition like in the future. But one of my big dreams is writing and being published, so I don't want to let that go. I do want to push myself if I can, but I'm not going to push myself like too much right now, given that I just really wanted to get back into the joy of writing, and that kind of helped was the short story idea and trying something I've never done before, because I mainly like to write fiction, romance, fantasy, that kind of thing, and this was definitely different for me, a different genre and format. It was really fun. So yeah, getting back into writing, but like in a new way, has been helpful. So when we went to Palm Springs, we stopped in the town before we went to our resort, and there was a bookstore there, so in like downtown Palm Springs. And I had brought in like a few books with me to potentially read, but they have been books that have been harder for me to read lately, and that's just in general, like fiction. It's just been really tough, I think, for me to indulge in like a fantasy land in a book, and my brain and my heart are like, why am I reading this? Like, it's not really helping me. It's not really making my real life any better. So that's why reading has been a little difficult as well, and it's just harder to concentrate on stories. So I picked up this book. It seemed interesting, and it's called No Straight Road Takes You There. And it's Essays for Uneven Terrain by Rebecca Solnit. And it talks about just like a few different topics, but climate change, feminism, democracy, hope, power, and its abuses. Basically, the author writes about all of these topics in sort of the unique format of these short essays and like specific things that relate to the topics. There have just been some really interesting points, and I think the overall theme is no straight road takes you there, and how basically one of the points brought up is that, you know, some things we know and experience today didn't even come about until, you know, decades ago, or people fought for these things decades ago, or made, you know, basically speaking to how even if you feel like what you're doing isn't making a huge impact, in a way it can, because what is done now still can make way for, you know, a path basically to overcoming challenges, passing laws that help the greater good kind of thing. So I think it just speaks to that hope, and even on a personal level, I think you can take away some of these valuable insights about how, you know, the challenges you face in your life are not always like a linear path forward. You're just like, if you are navigating a new way forward, sometimes you're encountering a tree or a rock and you have to like find your way around. And how often have you also unexpectedly come across something beautiful just because you took a direction you didn't think was there before. And I think this also helped me be open to the unexpectedly good things that happen in life, and how, for example, we went to this wellness resort and they upgraded our room to like one of the more expensive rooms for free, basically, because there was going to be a delay in getting one of our room into our original room, and they upgraded us and we got our own private pool. And I was like, oh my god, like this is so great, and just enjoying that unexpectedly good situation, and how, you know, a lot of good things in your life kind of happen unexpectedly as well. And so yeah, I just really love this notion of no straight road gets you to where you want to be, and unexpectedly good things will come about to make you feel happy and joy again, or give you that spark back, and to not be closed off or just focused on one way of going about things. That being open is going to be really important to overcoming challenges and remaining hopeful for the future. So yeah, there's so many more valuable things that I am not expressing in this book, but it has been really easy to get through, and just a lot of great lines that I need to go back and annotate because they've definitely been speaking to me. So yeah, definitely recommend this. One of the things at the wellness resort, and also before the wellness resort, but you know, I brought my journal. I got to like do a little journaling meditation class there as well. Meditation is more like just sitting with your thoughts and kind of like filtering your brain a little bit with just quiet time is how I see it. And then journaling is more like reflecting on your experiences, all of that, and it has been helpful. I don't know that journaling is always helpful, but I do have some prompts that have helped when I feel like I want to journal, but I also want it to be almost like helpful journaling and not just like regurgitating all the negativity in my head. You know, I want to kind of rewrite the script a little bit, reframe it. So some recent prompts that I have found helpful have been, how do I feel right now, whether it's like the morning or afternoon, sort of like a check-in during the day. What do I need more of today? And I like that because I'm looking at what I can do right now instead of like, oh, I should have done this today, or oh, I should try to do this tomorrow. It's like, what do I need more of today? Simple as, I need more positive self-talk. I need to go out for a walk. I need to do skincare tonight. I need to bake banana bread. Like, whatever that is for you, try and incorporate it in your day. And then the last journal prompt is, what's one thing I want to try, not should. Or if you're thinking about tomorrow, you can say, what's one thing I need more or less of tomorrow. So there's some journal prompts where you can kind of reflect on the day, like what was helpful today, what can I do more of or less of tomorrow, and then reflecting within the day. It's like, how do I feel right now? What do I need more of right now or for the rest of my day? And what's one thing I want to try, maybe. So, and it doesn't require like long answers either, which I like. It's just a quick check-in and you're writing it down, so it feels more grounding. Yeah, I'd highly recommend the journal. This is, by the way, a Moleskine journal. Moleskine. It's the soft black one. And I just used a label maker to write to journal on it. So yeah. And I was in Palm Springs. I stopped at a shop as well at the end of our trip and found this room spray. It's basically like for meditation, but it has Peru balsam, lavender, and sandalwood. Smells so good. Like, I smelled it and I was like, this is exactly the perfect lavender scent that I love, so I'll spray it. I love the mist is very fine as well. That smells so good, so relaxing. I have continued to listen to ASMR. I mean, that is always pulling me through, but I do think that meditation will be something I try to incorporate a little more, as I did find that really helpful on the trip, and I felt like my thoughts were really solid and I could kind of focus a bit better, so that was nice. This is the brand, by the way. It's called Rare Essence. It's just at a local boutique store there in Palm Springs. So yeah, really great. But it has balsam, lavender, and sandalwood in case you want to like create your own version or find something else out there. So let's see, anything else? Well, I've been really into banana bread making, really getting into baking. There's this date banana bread recipe I've been loving. I'll probably put it in the description in case you want to know. I found it from a video and then I tweaked it a little bit. So I have two recipes that I've been loving, a chocolate chip version and a date and walnut version, and I just love having the banana bread with like a little butter, salt, and with like fruit on the side. Oh my gosh, so good. And I'm just like loving banana bread right now. I have also still been into like tarot videos and all that good stuff. I feel like sometimes with tarot, it feels like I'm putting a lot of pressure on like, what do I need to do? What is my future? And so I kind of try to like step away from it and not get too obsessed, because it's like, you know, I can watch a million of those videos, but if I'm not like sitting with myself and really reflecting, I don't think that I'm like actively doing the work that is required to make an impact on my future. So yeah, I think that for me, I've had to like kind of be good about not going too overboard with watching like all the tarot videos and, you know, trying to basically get fed an answer what that I genuinely just need to find within, you know, with just spending time with myself. Let's see, still have been loving fruit, making my own food a lot of the time. Not that I'm not indulging in eating out, but definitely feel my best self when I'm like making my food and have lots of fruits and veggies and just really, yeah, just focusing on a diet that makes me feel good. And I think that is something I continue to prioritize and gauge how I'm feeling, because I can eat my feelings. So I definitely want to keep that in balance and indulge where it makes sense, and be balanced in other areas. Let's see. I have been, if you've noticed, I have a no nail polish, no press-ons. They're actually, I do need to put some nail polish on, but I've actually kind of been digging short nails. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm in this mode of short nails. Like, I love long nails, I love press-on nails. I will probably continue to do them, but I think right now I'm just like leaning a lot more towards short nails. And yeah, I can't really explain why. I think I like the aesthetic, but also I just feel like it gives me a lot of freedom with my hands that I enjoy. So yeah, I'll probably just be rocking some short nails here and there. Yeah, just some last few things I want to try to, again, heal and reconnect with myself, because I think a lot of the depression has been a lot of cognitive dissonance, which just means you're sort of, you know, playing out your life in a way that doesn't feel like it's in alignment with what you really like or want or value. And so there's been a lot of disconnection, I feel, from myself, and that can bring a lot of insecurity and low confidence. So in order to restore that, it is getting back into things that make me feel good, right? And build that up again and just reconnect with myself where I'm at and try to do things in alignment with myself. But also there are things I'm excited to try. We'll see. Like I really want to make a garden, like a small patio garden, because I don't have, I don't live in a house. I live in a sort of apartment style area, so we have a little bit of a patio. I would mainly have to garden in pots or planters, which is probably for the best because I'm a beginner. So I do want to garden, and my husband has been wanting to try that as well. So we're hoping to sort of start that up this summer, and maybe by next year we'll have some vegetation, but we haven't even begun yet. So that will be fun to explore more, and I'm really trying to also be resourceful and find things for free if I can, like pots or things, because some of this stuff can get expensive. So I want to try and like find as many free things as I can to build up my little wonky garden, my little cottage core garden. Yeah, my dream. And then I also want to get more involved in my community and just, find something to be involved in more, for a variety of reasons, but definitely I think that just feels like that would be more in alignment with myself and feeling like I'm actually helping what matters, giving back. And also I feel like it's just part of who I am, working in those types of things, those types of community involvements. I feel like it's just like naturally what I look, it's naturally something that I'm drawn to. And I'm not necessarily a shy person, I would say, but it is hard to find people you connect with, not just in a friendly manner, but also like, are we working well together? And at the end of the day, volunteer work is, you're serving others, so it's always going to be a good thing to try no matter what. I just kind of want to find a group that I can routinely go back to, and it's not just this sort of one-off thing. But we'll see where my path takes me, and the people I meet along the way, and maybe I'll find a group that I can continuously work with, and just be more involved, because I think that is something that I value and want to incorporate in my life. So yeah. Wow, that was a longer video. We'll see how much I cut out, but this was quite a bit to chat through. But I hope that some of these things I shared show, how to get back into your hobbies in a new and a unique way. Think about fun activities you can try that you just haven't been able to get to, whether that's, recently I did like a jewelry making workshop. That was really fun, and just continuing to plan fun things with your loved ones, but also give yourself time to sit with yourself, your thoughts throughout the day, throughout the week. I can tend to overplan myself and overbook, and I'm learning to be okay with like some boundaries around my time and leaning into what feels good. Obviously being there for those I love and knowing, okay, if I'm saying yes to this, I'm committed to it, keeping my promises, but also knowing not to overpromise. So yeah, and activities you can also do by yourself, like going outside, going on a walk in nature, volunteering somewhere, to be around others, and doing something creative if that's your calling, or working with things if you like that. Stepping away from your screen. I've also I activated the downtime setting on my phone where you basically turn off your social apps. They kind of go dark, if you will, during a period of time, and I try to do it at night and in the morning. But in general, I'm just trying not to be on my phone as much and just be like, okay, what else can I do? What does my mind want right now? And what can I listen to or read or watch that is a little bit more quality content than just scrolling on my phone? So yeah, those are some tidbits, some recommendations. I'm not perfect and I'm not anywhere, I think, where I want to be per se. There's a lot of work ahead, but I think I'm in a place where I'm finally just accepting my timeline and want to just slow down, like slow down, enjoy the small things. Remember, that every step does matter, and that instead of feeling overwhelmed that I'm not at place C, I'm at place A, there are things I can do between A and B that get me a little closer. So, yeah, that is what I'm going to work on. Well, not work on, but embrace, if you will. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope, if anything, it was just interesting to hear me chit-chat. And if it wasn't, I'm sorry. I will come back with more ASMR role plays and such. And I love all the ideas you've shared with me. I appreciate everything. This community has meant so much to me. You have meant so much to me. Everything is so appreciated. I just happen to be going through something right now, and it's hard to kind of meet fully how I want to show up. But just know that, it brings me so much joy to give you content that you enjoy at the end of the day. So I have motivation and desire. It's just I'm working on my energy and my mental health to show up in a way that, not only honors me, but honors the content that I can give you. And yeah, so I appreciate you all, love you all, and it wouldn't be this enjoyable without you. So yeah, ASMR has done so much for me personally that I know I can relate to what it must mean for you. So just know that as a whole, ASMR artists are like nothing without each other, and the people who enjoy the content and find a moment of peace from it. So yeah, I'm just really grateful for this, and I hope you enjoyed as best as you could this different format. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you